Hello, everybody. This is Linda Thomas calling in from Pittsburgh tonight. Just wanted to give a quick message for our weekly training. Very excited to share with you a tracking tool. A lot of you have asked me about keeping track of what you're doing and having some accountability measured to that. These weekly trainings are very short, one specific topic, and available on demand for you and your team. So let's talk about this, and I'll show you where you can get this form in a moment. Calling this monthly activity tracking form specifically, and we'll hit each one of these in a moment separately. You can see there's 4 activities. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the income-producing activities. We can send cards, listen to training calls, and attend events and things like that. But these specific 4 activities will keep you in productivity mode where you're actually producing activity that yields results in your business. So let me just jump into each one of them. Adding to your contact manager, setting appointments. Activity 3 is gift account walkthrough, and activity 4, follow-up. The work in send out cards, my friends, is activity 2 and 3. You're either setting appointments or doing appointments. So let's take each one of these separately. Activity 1, adding to your contact manager. You always need to be adding to your contact list. And, of course, we utilize the contact manager, but this is kind of a month at a view, all of the additions you have made in a month. And there's actually about 40 slots on this form. And when you're adding to your contact list, I do want to make a note that you should add to it every day, in your life, out and about, meeting people on social media and things like that. Adding to your contact list doesn't give you an appointment right then and there all the time. It just gives you more in your pipeline to feed the appointments at a later time. So I hope that makes sense. Adding to your list doesn't always mean an appointment right now, but it's a very important component to your success in your Send Out Cards business. So you have a column for that, activity 1. This is the work. Activity 2, setting appointments. Now, you will see here on activity 2, there's a column for every day of the week, 1 through 31, every day of the month, 1 through 31, and you'll see here third-party tool 1 and 2. We call them validators. Sometimes people need some information to validate their decision. So in this section, activity 2, setting appointments, sometime you'll set an appointment because you know the person well, you have some rapport, there's some history there. Sometimes you'll need to introduce a third-party tool or even a second third-party tool to validate some information or maybe qualify that prospect a little bit before you actually set the appointment for your walkthrough. So just, food for thought. The third-party tools or the validators can be used before your gift account walkthrough or after as a follow-up tool. Let's talk about what some of those validators are. A greeting card, the Ascend magazine, the daily opportunity call, a box of brownies, third-party upline introduction call. There's a lot of different tools that you can use that expose them to the Send Out Cards to the mobile app. Fantastic to kind of create some buzz. So those are the examples. So you want to track it here. I'm going to show you what the form looks like in its entirety, how it plays out in a moment. But this helps you keep track of where you are with that individual. The third activity is gift account walkthrough. The work is setting appointments and doing appointments, right? This is the doing of the appointment, the gift account walkthrough. You'll track here for each person. Did you give the presentation? If they joined as a customer, you put yes in that column. If they joined as a distributor, you put yes in that column. If it's blank, you know that you have not yet earned their business. And if it's a yes, congrats, move on. If not, you know that you can follow up and use third-party tools, and you just know in the process where you are for each person. Now you'll see there too, handwriting font. Highly recommend every card sender get the personal handwriting font and or the signatures too. They're only $5 for each signature, $25 for the whole package of their handwriting and 4 signatures. You will see referrals received. The folks that are joining you as a customer, do not hesitate to ask for referrals. Who do you know that can use a great system like this? So you'll be able to track all of that there. And again, if you don't have a yes in either one of those joined columns, then you'll utilize the last section here, activity 4, follow-up. And it really just tracks, have you gotten additional exposures in their hands. The fortune really is in the follow-up. Multiple exposures is sometimes needed for people to make a decision. So use those third-party tools to validate that decision for them. It gives them additional exposure of send-out cards so they can make that decision. So here's just a sample. I hope you can see it, of how the sheet plays out. You'll see down on Activity 1, just kind of adding some names there, some interesting people. Activity 2, you'll see where they are in the process. Like I said, some people will have validators 1 or 2 before you get to the walkthrough. Some will not have any validators needed, and you can set the appointment without that previous exposure to the information. And then Activity 3, you'll see where it's all playing out. Did you give the presentation yet? Did they join? Did they get the handwriting? Did you get referrals? And then Activity 4, if there's no yeses in those columns, get those third-party tools working in your favor. So I hope that helps. Every month you want to print this out and or work this form in Excel. You can download that by the same place you're watching this, that you got this webinar information on, SOCwebinar.com. So you just go there and it'll be a link there that says Meeting Resources, and you'll be able to download that Excel spreadsheet. Like I said, fill it in Excel if you're in front of your computer a lot. If not, print it out. Keep it with you at all times. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps, gang. I do want to mention, as always, you want to get this date. I hope each and every single one of you are planning on attending the Send Out Cards International Convention on May 29th through June 1st in Salt Lake City. One of my favorite things is to have everybody come to convention, experience, of course, that in itself, but you get to tour the offices and see the cards in production. It's incredible. So with that, we will leave it for today's training. We will see you again next week. In the meantime, set those appointments, do those walkthroughs. At least 3 a week keeps you in the game and 10 times ahead of the pack if you consistently do at least 3 or more walkthroughs on a weekly basis. And that's it. Thanks for your time today, and continued success as you soar through your Send Out Cards business.